Ladies and gentlemen, all is quiet in the cryptocurrency market as of current, but rest assured the next move is brewing as we speak behind the scenes. We know that cryptocurrency as a whole is at structured resistance currently. It's at a hurdle, right? We look at the USDT.D chart, we see a massive support block stemming backwards from 2019. We know that this chart is reverse correlated to Bitcoin, and we know that this support on the USDT chart is hence a Bitcoin resistance. The DXY is the exact same story. Resistance on the DXY, reverse correlated to Bitcoin. If it continues upwards, Bitcoin will go downwards. The total cryptocurrency market cap is at the all-time high from 2021, a very major hurdle of resistance. So as the entire market sits at macro resistance, we have to ask the question, what will happen next? And we're getting some clarity from the short-term charts as we speak. Bitcoin is currently in a bullish pennant formation, a very bullish pennant formation, okay, at the top of an upwards trend that will be breaking out within 24 hours. The exact same thing can be said about Ethereum, and the exact same thing can be said about the total cryptocurrency market cap chart, except in this case, it is not just a bullish pennant formation, it is an ascending triangle formation. So the entire market right now is at structured macro resistance. We could reject from here, but the short-term charts are printing bullish patterns, and all eyes need to be printed and planted on the next 24 hours, as if these patterns break upwards, we will start the next leg of this bull market. So will we see the next leg of the bull market, or will we go downwards for a correction? If we do go downwards, where can we go while remaining healthy? It all depends on the next 24 hours. It all depends on the patterns I'm going to show you today. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Before we do so, just go down to the comments below and drop a comment. I appreciate that. It helps me out in the algorithm. Drop an emoji, drop a thank you, drop whatever you want. I appreciate it a lot. And the last thing I'll mention before we get into it is the Bitcoin ETH and Blowfin exchanges. These exchanges are global non-KYC. They have never been hacked before. They're very low in trading fees. They have released their reserves information. It's fully transparent, so you can see their reserves in case there is a hack, they will reimburse you on their funds, or at least they say they will, okay? And with my referral links down below, you can get a 15% trading fee discount on Bitcoin ETH, and also you can check out the Blowfin exchange if you want an alternative option. I personally use Bitcoin ETH. Use those links down below to sign up. I appreciate that. If you're interested, check it out. Let's get into the content. Right, so starting off with something that a lot of people wouldn't start off with, but I choose to every single time. It's the invalidation zone of the bull market, right? It's all well and good me sitting here saying how bullish the market is, but if we don't know when to cut our losses or cut our wins, we have no real stake in saying that, okay? You need to know when you will say, I am wrong. In my view, it's very, very clear where that will be. It would be between 74,000, which is the all-time high printed in March, and the all-time high that was retested right here before the break upwards, before the massive surge upwards in October, and 69K, which is actually the 2021 all-time high, and a very important net climb within our prior macro range, right? If Bitcoin goes into the 74K to 69K region, that's when you get very, very anxious and start biting your nails, frantically. And if it drop below that, that's a sign that the bull market is over. Until that occurs, until we drop below 74K or 69K, the bull market's in play. And any correction we see downwards above that level would be just that, a correction, a healthy bull market correction. Now that we've covered that, and now that we've covered our validation zones, which are very, very important to cover, let's get into the actual video content. And that is the short-term bullishness we see across the cryptocurrency market right now. We look at the Bitcoin daily chart. And we see, a massive spike to the upside. We're at the top of a major move right here. And usually when you see a big move like this, you generally want to correct downwards and regain strength before swinging back to the upside. We're not in an exception this time. That wouldn't be bad to do. But right now, we actually see the short-term charts suggesting otherwise. We see the short-term charts suggesting that we're going to be moving upwards again. Now, I'm not saying we're going to be doing that. I can't really predict that we're going to be doing that until we actually see the breakout occurring, until we see Bitcoin crossing above this triangle's line. It's very difficult to say whether we'll be doing that or not, but it certainly looks likely at this point, and that's objectively true. We have a bullish pennant formation here on Bitcoin. We know for a fact that the next available resistance zone for Bitcoin, or the upper resistance zone for Bitcoin, is 94K, which is the all-time high. And above that, we have psychological resistance at 100K. If Bitcoin breaks this pennant formation to the upside, we could be at 100K within a matter of days. Now, from there, being a psychological resistance zone, we might finally see that correction. I'm not saying a correction won't come. It certainly will come. Corrections come all the time, even in bull markets. You can see extensive corrections. But perhaps we're not going to see it yet. Perhaps this triangle formation is suggesting one more move before that correction begins, which will be interesting. We have the exact same thing, on Ethereum. If it would be one thing if Bitcoin had this structure alone, but now Ethereum has it as well. Ethereum has, just like Bitcoin, a bullish pennant formation that, just like Bitcoin, will be breaking out within 24 hours. And if it breaks upwards, which is not guaranteed, it might break downwards, but if it breaks upwards, the next available resistance for Ethereum is up here at 3,400, and then above that, it would be 3,725. We would form some sort of rounding formation with a neckline, and we'd be very likely to go upwards to 3,700 on Ethereum at that point, which would be very close to Ethereum's all-time high, okay? On top of that, not just Bitcoin, not just Ethereum, the total cryptocurrency market cap is showing exactly the same thing. A ascending triangle formation, not quite the same structure, but certainly a bullish structure at major resistance. In fact, the total cryptocurrency market cap chart is at macro resistance right now. Resistance that is marked by the all-time high of the prior cycle and the psychological resistance level of 3 trillion, right? If we break this triangle formation to the upside, we will be breaking the 2021 all-time high. We will be breaking the 3 trillion level. It will lead to a massive surge across the market. So my eyes are planted on these 3 charts right now. They're planted on the Bitcoin triangle, on the Ethereum triangle, and the triangle on the total cryptocurrency market cap chart. If these 3 triangles break to the upside, which will literally be, if they moved upwards 2%, right? Each of these charts moved upwards 2%, that will be a confirmed breakout. We will see the next leg of this bull market occurring right now. Now, the good part about these triangles is we know where the support is, we know where the resistance is. Given the fact we know where the support is, we can also say, well, if they break downwards, that's the start of a correction. And that's very simple. If we do break downwards, we will correct downwards, and the levels we're looking at on Bitcoin are 85.2K, down to 82K, down all the way to something like 79K. And at that point, we go back to what we discussed at the start, which is our invalidation zones, which come down all the way to 79K. 74K, sorry, and 69K, which would be the levels below that. Again, until we break below those levels, nothing changes in the macro scale. Any of these targets on the screen right here, 78K, 82.5K, 85K, they wouldn't be bearish for Bitcoin to retest on a macro scale. It wouldn't break the bull market or anything like that. That would just be a rational short-term pullback. The question is, do we actually correct downwards or do we continue upwards here? It's impossible to answer because the macro... the cyclical data, the cyclical trends don't really have a preferred preference here. For example, if we look back at the Bitcoin chart here, we look when Bitcoin was in a descending channel formation for 7.5 months. The cycle said it was going to go upwards because the cycle says we top out in 2025, right? Late 2025. And so if we went downwards there and entered a bear market, that would be against what the cycle said. So the cycle had an opinion there, and the cycle said we're going upwards. Right here, when we're looking at very short-term charts, the cycle doesn't have an opinion. If Bitcoin corrected here, it would be coherent with the 4-year cycle. If it went upwards, it would be, again, coherent with the 4-year cycle. So we don't really have any macro input, any insightful macro input to discuss in regards to these triangles. All we can do is look at them and look to see if they break outwards. And if they break outwards, awesome, there's the next leg. And if they break downwards, okay, there's the correction, not the end of the world. But I will say this, given the fact that they are bullish structures, right? Bullish pennant formations are bullish. Ascending triangle formations are bullish. There's no doubt about that. It looks like at this point, the market is leaning more bullish. And it looks like at this point, a leg to the upside would be the more likely scenario. Not guaranteed, but certainly more likely. So this is very good to see. It represents that we won't be entering another boring consolidation either way. Whatever way the market moves, there's not going to be a boring consolidation here. We are very much in a volatile market environment right now. And over the last few days of consolidation, we haven't just been doing that for no reason. The market has actually been consolidating within pattern formations, which we've only now been able to identify. And it looks like the market will be moving again very, very shortly. So brace for impact. Hopefully we get a swing to the upside here because that means some of our major hurdles, such as the USDT.D chart, will break. If this breaks to the downside, that is excellent for cryptocurrency. This is a major hurdle right now. We've got 5 years of support right here. If you look at these retests back from 2021, March 2021, when this chart bounced, that led to Bitcoin reaching its first top of the bull market. And November 2021, that led to Bitcoin topping out of the bull market entirely and entering a bear market. So this line has been very influential. And if the market moved upwards here, this line would break to the downside. That would be a massive hurdle being jumped for cryptocurrency. The same can be said about the total cryptocurrency market cap, which is at the 2021 resistance level and the $3 trillion psychological resistance. If the market can move upwards here in the short term, if we can break these triangles, we are not just moving upwards in the short term. We're not seeing a minuscule, meaningless move. We're seeing breakouts from macro hurdles that are very concerning. So this would be great if we moved upwards here. Fingers crossed for the market. Guys, thank you for watching. Apologies for my rushed articulation today. I'm in a bit of a rush to get somewhere, so I'm trying to get this out as fast as possible. Apologies for that again, but I appreciate you guys watching. Leave a comment down below, chuck an emoji down there, chuck a thank you, say whatever you want. It helps out the algorithm, as I mentioned. And I'll mention two more things before I end off. The Bitunix and Blowfin exchanges are the exchanges I advertise on this YouTube channel. My referral link is down below for Bitunix. I use that exchange personally. You get a 15% trading fee discount for life with my referral link. Get on a good exchange, guys. You can't be on these bad exchanges. You're literally paying the money and fees to keep your funds safe and for trading transaction fees. Get on a good one. Bitunix is a good one. Blowfin's an alternative option. My links are down below. And the last thing I'll mention is the VIP group on Telegram. If you want altcoin trading signals 4 times a week, I post them on Telegram. You're also getting access to a group chat where you can discuss the market 24/7 with 135 other VIP members. Incredibly useful stuff there. PDF of all the historical trading results for those trading signals is available for you to view. I hide nothing. I'm very proud of my results, so check it out if you're interested. Thank you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.